dance bands with the teachers, and then I was playing accordion and with this band, and like playing a lot and making pretty good money. By the time I was 15, I was making enough money to pay for all my stuff, my clothes and my going out and everything like that. So that made me realize that, or think that I could actually be a musician and make a living at it because I was already doing it. So I didn't, there was no reason to doubt. And about that time, I started really loving the Stan Kenton band. And he had 5 trombones, which I really liked. And I really wanted to play in that band so much. I would have loved to play in that. Even if I had to play bass trombone, that'd be okay too. And but shortly after that, I got admitted to the Berklee School of Music in Boston. And I went to Boston with my father to find an apartment for the next year to go there. And walking out of the hotel in Boston in the morning with my father, in walked Stan Kenton. He walked right past me, and I said to myself, shit, man, that's Stan Kenton. And my father saw him. He said, "Isn't that Stan Kenton?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Let's go talk to him." And I said, "No," and I ran away. I got up. I ran out the door. I ran away from the hotel. I ran down the street, and I didn't even turn around. And I ran away from Stan Kenton, and I ran away from my father, and I ran away from myself, and I ran away from this horrible feeling that I was having. I decided what I needed to do after 2 years of so much fun, in Ithaca and in Florida, just playing all the time and enjoying myself. I needed to get serious, so I decided to go to New York. I got into the Manhattan School of Music. And as soon as I got into Manhattan, in New York, I went to the Greenwich Village and I was looking for the beatniks because I really liked the idea of the beatniks, and I wanted to be a beatnik, actually. I wanted to wear a goatee. I wanted to have a goatee. I wanted to wear a beret. And I wanted to use, words like, cool and your chick and, where's your pad and all that kind of stuff. And I even wanted to maybe even read some poetry. I don't know. But thing is, bongos, no bongos. But there was a woman who looked like a beatnik who was renting an apartment. I asked her, "Hey lady, are there any beatniks around here?" She said, "No, they all got out maybe 10 years ago." Oh no. Oh yeah. I'm so disappointed. So I went up to the Bronx, where the apartments were cheaper. I had auditioned, and I got this job with Sammy Kaye, which was a Mickey Mouse band. If you know what a Mickey Mouse band is, playing the corniest of music. This was one of the only big bands that was still left probably in the world, but in New York. But I didn't realize what I was getting into, because in this band, there was no support for the trombone. The trombone, there was only one by the time I got in there, was the clown of the band, the musical clown, who played ridiculous lines, sticking out like a sore thumb, above everyone else who was just, playing in their easy register. And the trombone comes in. I did that for a year and a half. And I just was like, well, I can't do this anymore because it's only going to get worse. And I quit the trombone then. I just quit. My identity was trombone player. you know. That's what I wanted to do. I was a trombone player. I didn't want to do anything else, really. And now I couldn't do that, so I have to do something. I mean, I'm only like 20, 21 or something. I'm going to do something. So I decided, well, now I'm still at the Manhattan School of Music studying composition and theory, and so maybe I can play the piano because I know something about the piano. And so I started studying the piano. And then I got a call from Fred Lipsius, who was he was a horn section together for this band. He said, hey, you want to go out of town for 2 weeks, play rock and roll, play in a rock and roll band, and play trombone? And I said, no, I don't. I want to stay in New York. I don't want to go. And then he called back a couple weeks later, and he said, hey, would you want to go on the road for 2 weeks with this rock and roll band and play trombone? And I said, no, I don't. He was kind of slow, Fred, you know what I mean? But he called me a third time, and he said, we're going to California. You want to go to California for 2 weeks? And I said, yeah, I want to go to California. And I do. That's why I went to California. It sounded great. So we're playing in San Francisco, and all these kids are up in front of the bandstand, you know, smiling, dancing, listening, paying attention to us. It was just amazing because my experience before that had been as a musician. No one paid attention to us. No matter how good the band was, no one cared, you know. Musicians were always sideline. We were playing for other things, you know, a dinner, you know, a dance, you know, dancers, dogs, you know, strippers or politicians or something. It was just like, you know. But these people came to hear us. It was amazing. I never experienced that. It changed my whole perspective about playing music, really, even though I knew now I want to be a rock star. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.